Okay, welcome back to Hollow Knight. And we're here at the hunter's place, I guess.
Fellow hunter, you return. You've already proven yourself to me. I'm only biding time a moment before next my hunt begins. A true hunter has no home, no kingdom, and I'm eager for new prey. You bear the mark now, but that's only the beginning. That mark will become a part of you, will engrave itself deep within, and that yearning to hunt it will never leave.
Okay, sure, dude. Okay, the crawlid, timid scavenger that crawls through the caverns looking for food.
Dull and pathetic, hardly worth killing.
Vengefly, flying predator that pursues its prey relentlessly.
This fierce little hunter will bravely chase down creatures many times its size. Admirable. It is weak, though, and I've devoured hundreds of them with little effort or care.
Vengefly king, patriarch of a vengefly colony, swoops at intruders and cries out for reinforcements if threatened.
A filthy creature that is happy to chew on any old thing it finds discarded on the cavern floor. When it notices a threat, it will annoyingly scream and shriek, so kill it swiftly.
Gruzzer, simple-minded creature that haphazardly buzzes around, bumping into things.
They only seem dimly aware of their surroundings, making them easy prey to cut your fangs on. What is it that guides them on their paths? It almost seems like they search for ways to die.
Grass mother, mature gruzzer that carries its young in its belly, attacks by hurling its huge body around.
Bizarrely, this mother does not lay eggs, but instead carries its young inside its fat stomach. This strange practice seems to exhaust the creature, making it sleepy and vulnerable. Take advantage.
Tick-tick uses its small, sharp claws to cling along walls or roofs.
Spends its time tapping its way through the roads and caverns near the surface of this kingdom. If you're patient, you can wait for it to come to you and pick it off.
Aspid hunter bests its prey by spitting corrosive liquid, often hunts in packs.
Cunning predators that will try to pick you off from a distance. Don't give them any space, just charge in and cut them down. You'll find they're not so cunning once they are dead.
Aspid mother carries the eggs of its young inside its belly. Wait, the eggs of its young? Well, the eggs that contain the young, I guess. Can hatch and birth its young as needed to deal with intruders. Weird.
Shamelessly uses its own young as a weapon against its foes. Appalling, yes, but I do admire its resourcefulness. Good hunters do not always make good parents.
Aspid hatchling, recently birthed, these young aspid instinctively swarm around intruders.
These hatchlings are born with an instinct to kill. They are still only infants, though, and you can rush them between your fangs without thinking.
You can crush them, sorry.
Just don't let them overwhelm you with numbers.
A gome. Thickly armored, it bursts from the ground to seize prey in its fangs.
These brutes seem to be impervious to most damage, so you can sharpen your weapons on the thick hide or just slash away at them for your own amusement. They barely seem to notice.
Wandering husk. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force wanders the roads where it once lived.
These civilized bugs of Hellenists were weak in life, and now they are equally weak in death. Send them back into the dirt they were born in.
Husk horned. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force. Uses its horn to attack any uninfected creature it finds.
These bugs have an arrogant air about them, even after dying. Overly proud of their long horns. I enjoy snapping them off.
Leaping husk, the remains of a bug animated by a strange force. It will instinctively leap at uninfected creatures to attack them.
The bugs of Hellenists do not hunt their own food, they had it brought to them. That's why they were so weak. That's why their kingdom crumbled into dust and faded away.
Husk bully, the remains of a bug animated by a strange force. It aggressively attacks any uninfected creature it finds.
A thick orange mist fills these walking corpses. It has a sweet, sickly taste to it. I find it foul. After you kill these creatures, I suggest you do not eat them.
I wasn't planning on that. Husk Warrior. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force. Wields a nail and shell.
Softened by generations of luxury, these bugs lack claws or armor or venom. Those who wish to protect themselves are forced to fashion weapons from stone, ore, or shell.
Husk Guard. The remains of a great Hallownest coast guard animated by a strange force. Instinct still drives it to guard its post against intruders.
Larger and stronger than their brothers, these bugs are still forced to steal their weapons from the remains of other creatures. They do not roam or hunt, forever standing guard and lashing out at anything that wanders near.
Entombed Husk. Mummified remains, deformed and enraged by infection.
Inside these shambling corpses is a bright light that pierces any darkness. I peered inside that light once and saw something within it shining back, something terrible.
False Knight. A maggot driven mad by a strange force. Inhabits a stolen armored shell.
We creatures often love to steal the strength of others. Their lives are brief and fearful, and they yearn to have the power to dominate those who have dominated them.
Maggot. Weakest members of the Kingdom of Hallownest. Generally looked down upon and forced to do menial labor.
Consisting mainly of sweet fat, these helpless creatures make excellent provisions for long journeys, best roasted over open flame. If they try to bargain for their life, just ignore them. They have nothing to offer.
The Menderbug. Member of an elusive guild of bugs fixated on the maintenance of Hallownest's many signs and wayposts. The bugs of Hallownest were obsessed with building things.
The bugs of Hallownest were obsessed with building things. What strange little minds they had.
Life Seed. Small scuttling seed filled with lifeblood, which can be extracted and consumed for its healthful properties. What? Healthful properties? I guess so.
The bright liquid inside of these little fellows is delicious, and drinking it will make you feel stronger. I wonder how my own innards taste. Would it be a heinous thing to try and drink some?
Weird. Baldur. Rolls into a ball and propels itself at intruders who wander into its territory. Aggressive even when newly born.
Younger hunters delight in catching these creatures and rolling them around for sport. I encourage you to indulge yourself if the fancy strikes you.
Elder Baldur. Bulky and covered in thick plating, retracts into itself when attacked.
As they age, these creatures become too heavy and lumpy to roll around freely. Instead, they curl up and hide from the world. What do they think of in there, wrapped up inside of themselves? More carefree times, perhaps.
Moss Creep. Weakling that covers itself in leaves to appear larger, hides amongst the undergrowth.
I used to think these things were merely ambling plants. When I learned they were actually living creatures, I began to kill them on sight. This is the nature of the hunt.
What the fudge? Holy moly. Mossfly. Winged weakling that covers itself in leaves to appear larger, hides amongst the undergrowth, fleeing if predators draw near. What? I mean, I guess they assume the night is not a predator because they don't attack us. Well, they don't flee from us, that's what I'm saying.
They spend their whole lives hiding or fleeing. How sad, or perhaps that is the life they choose for themselves and they enjoy it? It's a strange thought, but not impossible.
Mosskin, plant-like bug that charges at foes when close.
They can be hard to spot amongst the foliage until you get close and they suddenly come charging at you. Tread carefully.
Volatile Mosskin. Plant-like bug swollen with infection. Releases deadly gas when threatened.
The gas that seeps from the gulls smells invitingly sweet, but it will burn through shell and flesh if you get too close.
Fool Eater. Nice. Carnivorous plant that snaps at any creature that comes close.
You really would have to be a fool to be tricked by a plant.
Yikes. Squid. Charges at prey with its needle-like proboscis. Proboscis?
When they lunge at you, don't panic. Stand your ground and strike back as they come close.
Yep, that's actually... If you get the timing down, that's actually very useful, in particular in the Colosseum, where you stand on very small platforms. Okay, Obel. A fat, slow-flying bug frequently discharges acidic liquid stored inside its round body.
Does it realize what a nuisance it is, drifting around, spilling its noxious juices everywhere it goes? If you see any, make sure to kill them.
Gulka. Aggressive plant-like that retracts protectively when danger is near. Spits hard spiky balls when foes are at a distance.
Its leaves are dry and bland, the bud is unpleasantly sour, but oh, the venom is in those balls it spits, exquisite. If you have the time to spare, try drinking some and enjoy the effects.
So... what? Well, let's not comment on that. Maskfly. Harmless flying creature that favors serene environments, usually travels in flocks.
They all keep lookout for danger, and when one flies away, the rest do as well. I wonder how it feels to have the protection of a pack.
Moss charger. Timid creature that frightens away intruders by covering itself in huge clumps of moss.
It's small, but it finds a lot of courage and strength once it covers itself in foliage. And I understand the desire to camouflage oneself.
Massive moss charger. Family of creatures that have learned to bulk up with moss and live as one. Right, that's the boss version. Of course,
there's strength in numbers, yes, but these creatures never had much strength to begin with. Cut through their trickery.
Thickery? What? Moss Knight. Protector of the green path, trained in the ways of the nail and the shell.
They hide in bush-like mounds and look soft, but beware these warriors. They are relentless in combat, fiercely guarding something hidden deep in the green path.
Mossy Vagabond. Lazy, portly mosskin, easily swayed by others. Right, these are the ones you get at this intersection from Queen's Gardens here. And there's this preacher guy talking to them, and we only saw them when infected. They all die, and yeah, the preacher dude is also infected then. Okay. Oh,
slow, fat, and easily vanquished. Common threats in those who forget their calling and forsake their duties.
Durandu. Simply walking creature encased in a hard shell, often found wading in shallow pools of acidic water.
One of the few creatures that can survive in the rivers of harsh acidic water that flow around us. Where does this water come from? It bubbles and spits with a seething hatred of the living.
Duranda. Simple flying creature protected by a spiky shell.
Thinks itself fully protected and so is unconcerned by passers-by. Attack its face and teach it that nothing is ever safe.
Very helpful that you get to know this after you've already done that, I guess. Aluba, passive glider that prefers to dwell near acidic waters.
What careless alive let drifting above us all, if one ever comes too close to the ground though.
Charged Lumifly. When threatened, they cluster together, generating electricity.
They usually drift about peacefully, but sometimes they cluster together and spit out a sharp, crackling flash that will stun and burn even large beasts like myself. Watch closely for an opening and move past them quickly.
Uma. Smallest jelly form, passive and unaware, but pulsing with a dangerous electric charge.
The spirit of a dead ancestor, the brain of a larger creature allowed to drift free, an egg searching for a safe place to spawn. I have no idea what this is.
Oma? I don't know. Passive outer being protecting an aggressive explosive core. Wait, what? Passive outer being protecting an aggressive explosive core.
Ghastly, eerie creature made of thick liquid. You can peer right through them, and you can't see where they keep their thoughts. I don't trust them at all. Keep away.
An actual Umu, intelligent being that guards the inner chamber of the teacher's archives.
The canyon below us, the one thick with fog and crackling with strange energy. A hunter can lose their senses down there. Be careful. Strange and unnatural things lurk there.
And now we're getting into the fog canyon. Fungal wastes, that is. Ambloom. Simple-minded crawling fungus. Its cap is covered in a layer of hardened spikes.
Lie on your belly, open your maw, and let this tasty morsel stroll straight into your stomach.
Weird, dude. Fungling. Passive fungal balloon. Internal gases cause it to float.
Just a turd, it drifts about with closed eyes and an open mind. When I was young, my brothers and sisters and I would hunt each other in the nest. Now I hunt alone.
Yikes. Oh my god. What? Fungoon. Fully grown fungal balloon. Spits build up internal gases at aggressors.
So round. I don't think I've ever seen a rounder creature than this. This world certainly hides some marvelous creatures. I must hunt them all down.
Sporg. Detects nearby movement and fires out explosive spores that drift towards their target.
If you're skilled, you can lead their spores back and watch them perish in the destruction of their own making. There's less than that, I think.
Nice. Fungified husk. The remains of a bug consumed by a fungus. Frequently releases clouds of thick, deadly gas.
The bugs of Hellonists are so pathetic that being infected by poisonous fungi actually increases their chances of survival. They really are absurd creatures. Shroomling. Young fungal creature, spends most of its time in the underground but can uproot and flee if it senses danger. Looks like an ordinary mushroom until you get close, then it pops out of the ground and starts scurrying around blindly. Very, very amusing.
Shroomal warrior. Fungal creature that detects intruders to protect its young.
Something queer in this air has caused these mushrooms to grow hearts, minds, and even faces. This means they
What?
They now fear for their lives, like all other living creatures.
Shroomal ogre. Huge fungal creature attacks by spitting corrosive venom and slamming its body into foes.
Are these hulking things beasts or are they mushrooms? I cut one in half and peered inside to find out, but couldn't find no answers in its soft, stinking insides.
Mantis youth. Member of a proud tribe, fiercely protective of its territory, launches stinging attacks with its needle-sharp abdomen. Oh, whoops.
As it grows, it loses the ability to fly. Passage into adulthood is often celebrated, but as time goes by, we realize that what we have lost.
Mantis warrior, member of a proud tribe, fiercely protective of its territory, launches savage attacks with bladed forelimbs.
If you venture too deep into the fungal forest, these warriors will stand in your way. What is it they guard deeply at the bottom of their territory?
The Mantis Lords, leaders of the Mantis tribe and its finest warriors. They bear thin nail lances and attack with blinding speed.
The Mantis tribe and the bugs of old Hellonists had no love for each other. The Mantises outlived their rivals though, and their civilization still stands.
Husk Sentry. And animated remains of a Hellonist sentry. Still remains some memory of its former task.
More skilled at combat than most bugs of Hellonists, they are nimble but lightly armored. Keep the pressure on them.
Heavy Sentry, animated remains of a large Hellonist sentry, one of few in Hellonist strong enough to wield a great nail.
Surprisingly quick-witted for a corpse, it will try to catch you if you leap over it and can chase you if you flee. Enjoyable to hunt, but beware of them in packs.
Winged Sentry, flying sentry of Hellonist, patrols the heights of the vast cavern in which the city was built.
Dances through the air just out of reach until it spots an opening, then swoops in for a decisive strike. If you're confident, wait for it to come to you, then counterattack.
Lance Sentry, a winged sentry of Hellonist equipped with a nail lance. Charges at threats or throws its lance from a distance.
This devious foe will often keep its distance and try to pick you off with its thrown weapons.
When it charges up at you, leap up and strike it down. Mistake. Once a highly intelligent bug, deformed by the misuse of soul.
These fools meddled with the soul of other creatures and lost their shape. Now they skulk through the shadows of their sanctum like slugs, hoping their old brothers will build them new bodies.
Folly. Okay, once a highly intelligent bug inflated by the misuse of soul.
I've heard whispers that the secret these fools were searching for was immortality. To live forever. I've never heard of anything so obscene.
Soul Twister. Highly intelligent bug that uses arcane knowledge to twist soul into vicious spells.
I've heard others talk about soul, but I do not understand what it actually is. I know that freshly killed meat tastes best. Is that because the soul still clings to it?
Yikes. Soul Warrior. Learned bug wielding a refined pin blade. Enhances its combat powers with harvested soul. Right. They have projectiles.
Where these strange warriors go, whispers follow them. Not only are they skilled with a nail, they can also use some strange power to shift suddenly from place to place. Stay on your guard.
Soul Master, head of the Soul Sanctum, hoarded soul hoping to stave off Hellenist's affliction, but eventually became intoxicated by its power.
The bugs of Hellenists tried all kinds of tricks and rituals and prayers to rid themselves of the infection, but to no avail. Perhaps the infection came from somewhere deep inside of them that they could not escape.
Husk Dandy, former member of Hellenists' High Society, limited offensive ability.
It seems the weakest, greediest members of Hellenists were also the ones who exerted the most influence. Truly a kingdom that was always destined for ruin.
Cowardly Husk, former member, blah blah blah. Although made aggressive by the force inside, old instincts still occasionally compel it to run from danger.
The fearful, cowardly nature of these Hellenist bug persists even after death. It almost feels shameful to chase and cut them down.
Gluttonous Husk, former member of Hellenist's High Society, uses its corpulent body as a weapon.
As these bugs became wealthier, they hunted less and consumed more, eventually taking on a grotesque shape not unlike overripe fruit.
And the gorgeous Husk, corpulent husk encrusted with a shining metal, retains the insect to Horgeo.
There's beauty in many things. Reflections of light in water, the taste of freshly killed meat, the cry of a hatchling for its mother. I've never understood the lust for metals and stones, though.
Greatest Sentry. Animated remains of a great sentry, the most elite of the city's guards. Wields a great nail and shell. Its powerful attacks cause heavy damage.
An extremely rare thing, a bug of Hellenist that actually poses a threat. Watch them carefully, as they can lash out quickly with devastating strikes.
Watcherites. Discarded shell of a Watcherite reanimated by a swarm of infected flies.
When these silent warriors fall in battle, their bodies split open and strange bugs come flying out. I wonder what will come flying out of me when I die. Will my hopes and fears drift away into the darkness?
The Collector. Dark figure locked inside the Tower of Love. Preserves Hellenist's creatures in glass jars, with particular attention given to grubs.
A shadow that sometimes flits through the caverns, making strange noises to itself. I've never seen it clearly, so I have no idea what type of creature it is.
Belfry. Belfly. That's something else. Belfly. Thin wings hide a highly volatile belly. Will give its own life to protect its territory.
An angry creature with no regard for its own life, a creature without fear, can it truly be called prey?
Pillflip. Odd creature that adapts to changing situations by flipping over and using the limbs on the other side of its body.
Adaptability is an important survival skill. If a problem seems unsurmountable, try approaching it from a different angle.
Whomp. Tiny and placid, but swells to enormous size when threatened.
Extremely amusing creature.
I guess the name is just the sound they make when they swell. Blug Blug sag. Placid but putrid creature. Holds rancid eggs within its gut.
Easily tracked down if you have a sense of smell. I strongly suggest you do not eat its eggs.
Dung defender. Skilled combatant living at the heart of the waterways. Assails intruders with the balls of compacted dung.
Fighting for honor or for loyalty, you may as well be fighting for dust. If you want to kill, do it for your own sake. That is the nature of a hunter.
White defender. Figure from a fondly remembered past. Reacts gallantly to defeat by becoming stronger. The champions call the Knotted Grove, the Battle of the Blackworm. I remember it all. It will carry those glories with me. I will carry those glories with me always until we meet again. Yep, Ogrim of the Five Knights. That's one of them. I mean, that's Ogrim. So yeah. Flugfey. Youngest of its species, its body is composed of teeth, wings, and stomach. Yikes.
Seems to want to latch onto any living thing that comes by with its sharp little teeth. It will leave its cousins alone though, so it isn't completely mindless.
Flugmon. Worm-like creature that prefers damp, dark habitats.
Dangerous, unpredictable foes that infest the pipes below Helena's capital. Even when it seems you've killed them, you need to stay on guard.
Flugmonger. Oh no! Yeah, I missed that, right.
Aged fluke, grown fat on the rich refuse. Found in the pipes below the capital.
Flugmarm. An insatiable breeder. Has populated the waterways with its kind. Its insides double as a nest for young flukefeys.
The desire to breed, to leave behind a memory of ourselves in the shape of a child. It seems to be etched deep into the heart of every living creature. I too have felt the pull of that base instinct.
Shardmite. Feeds on crystal dust and uses crystallized spines to protect itself from danger.
I don't find this creature particularly notable or interesting. It should learn to fly or breathe flames or sing hauntingly, anything to justify its existence.
Glimback. Slow, hardy creature. The crystals that grow on its back provide extra protection from foes above.
Large and well protected, but slow and docile. The bugs of Hellenist used to force these creatures to carry around their carts and machines.
Ah, interesting. I didn't know that. Crystal Hunter. Fires shards of fast-growing crystal at intruders.
Make their homes all the way up at the top of the world. Do they use the crystals willingly as a weapon, or are they merely hosts and the crystal parasites?
Good question. Crystal Crawler. Discharges searing beams of light from the crystal on its back as it crawls around, seemingly unaware.
These creatures look weak, but sometimes burning pillars of heat will burst out from the crystals they carry on their backs. Be wary and time your strikes well.
Husk Miner. Remains of a bug drawn to the crystal peak for its precious crystals. Its claw pick now doubles as a fierce weapon.
The bugs of Hellenist lusted after the strangest things alive. They would dig furtively through the dirt for stone, and in particular, the crystals that grow at the top of the world.
Crystallized Husk. Remains of a bug who died amongst the crystals, animated by a strange force. It attacks by firing beams of light from its crystallized arms.
There's some strange power hidden in the crystals that grow up there in the peaks. They gleam and glow in the darkness, a bright point of searing heat in each one. They sing too, if you listen, very softly.
Crystal Guardian. A heavyset miner of the crystal peak, overcome by crystal growth. Can discharge blazing beams of light from its crystallized limbs.
How does the world look to this creature, gazing from within its crystal prison? Does it see only light? Is that what drives it into a frenzy?
Furious Vengefly. Vengefly whose body has been distorted by continued infection, highly aggressive.
The infection that passes from creature to creature grants strength and courage, but it also seems to enslave the will. Could you make such a bargain?
Volatile Grozza. Grozza swollen with infection and primed to burst.
Horrible goo and noxious gases started leaking down from above. Is there a source of all this pestilence? If so, I haven't seen it.
Violent Husk, maddened by massive infection, charges at enemies with no thought for its own preservation.
The bugs of Helleness were twisted out of shape by that ancient sickness. First they fell into deep slumber, then they awoke with broken minds, and then their bodies started to deform.
Slobbering Husk, the body of a bug completely consumed by infection, spits corrosive liquid.
The infection that swept through Helleness so long ago, they say that the harder you struggled against it, the more it consumed you.
Okay. I think I'll have to drink a sip here. Okay. It's a little quite straining on my voice. So, Dirt Craver, swarming predator of the deepness, burrows through the ground and bursts out to surprise prey.
Springy and vicious, these hunters will try to overwhelm you with numbers in the dark, tight, twisting caverns they carve through the ground. Always be on your guard.
Carver Hatcher, flying creature that fires out dirt carvers from its body when potential prey comes close.
Are these creatures the mothers of the dirt carvers? They appear only loosely related, but then how did the dirt carvers get inside of the hatches? A confusing situation.
What? Garpede, giant burrower covered in thick shell plates, tirelessly travels the tunnels of the deepness.
Monstrously strong, they shrug off any attacks you make on their thickly armored bodies. Luckily, if you simply avoid their paths, they'll leave you alone.
Corpse Creeper, parasitic beast that controls the body of its host after the host's death.
The beasts of this land have found plenty of ingenious hiding places, but none so clever as the body of another creature. If you happen on such a beast, rejoice. You've hunted 2 creatures at once.
What? Deepling, infant of the deepness, scuttles about in the darkness, learning the layout of its home.
The deepness is a dangerous place to hunt, but rewarding. Keep an eye out for weaker creatures you can pick off and eat. Keep your strength up in the darkness.
Deep Hunter crawls along walls and roofs, spitting burning venom at anything that passes by.
They can be hard to spot as they flitter in and out of the darkness. Watch for the glowing eyes.
Little Weaver, nimble spider that traverses its domain on thin strands of web, often waits in ambush.
They can appear from the darkness at any moment. They seem to fly through the air, dancing on invisible strings that they silently stalk prey.
Stalking devout. Worshippers of Hera the Beast shield themselves with hard-plated foreclaws, then lash out suddenly to cut down prey.
Powerful, well-armored and fast, these are no mere beasts. Study their movements and watch carefully for an opening.
Nosk mimics the shape of other creatures to lure their prey to its lair. In the deepest darkness, there are beasts
In the deepest darkness, there are beasts who wear faces stolen from your memories and pluck at the strings in your heart. Know yourself and stay strong.
Shadow Creeper, found only in deep dark places, has never been observed to eat or drink anything. This little creature is weak and poses no threat, but something about it still unsettles me. The way it moves.
This little creeper is weak and poses no threat, but something about it still unsettles me. The way it moves and the noises it makes are strange somehow.
Lesser Morlek attacks by spitting acid and slashing with foreclaws.
If you try to keep your distance, it will spit sticky, burning globs of vile stomach juice. Move in quickly and strike decisively.
Morlek, large immobile creature, wildly spits venom when intruders pass by.
How did this foolish creature lose its leg? I suppose it's possible to lose anything if you really try.
Brooding Morlek, Ferocious but extremely social creature, becomes aggressive if not able to mingle with its own kind.
I hear this beast crying out sometimes as I prowl the caverns, although I've never actually laid eyes on it. Who or what is it calling for? As far as I can tell, its voice is never answered.
Lightseed. A single-celled organism, completely infected, scurries around simple-mindedly. Strange air
has been seeping down from above for years. Some of the air became foul.
Sorry.
Some of the air became liquid, and some of that liquid became flesh, and some of that flesh came to life. I don't know what to make of it.
Oh my. My throat. Whew. We still have some way to go here, I think. Yeah. Ay. Oh no. Okay. Okay, I have to get some... Where were we? Here. Okay, I have to get another bit of water. 1 second. Okay, got myself a nice hot-ish tea, so we can continue. Don't spill it though. Infected balloon. Single cell of infection, has a simple mind and can float using internal gases.
The infection's creeping through the kingdom's dead veins. Does it have a mind? Does it produce soul? Is it truly alive?
Wait, I have to rearrange this here. Now the tea goes this way. Okay. Broken vessel. Shattered corpse reanimated by infected parasites.
The shape of this creature, I've seen something like it before. More than once, perhaps. It looks a little like the bugs of Hello Nest, but not quite the same. Where did these empty little wanderers came from?
Boofly. Large docile creature that peacefully buzzes around in the caverns of Kingdom's Edge.
Too slow to escape you and too large to hide from you. This prey will not challenge you, but sometimes it is good to take things easy.
Really? That's from you, huh? Primal Aspid. Wilder ancestral form of the aspid. Once thought extinct, they have reappeared at the edges of the world.
These cruel foes will ambush you and relentlessly attack with their searing venom. How strange that their descendants are so weak. If I have children, I hope they will be stronger than me.
Hopper. Leaps at prey and uses its sharp proboscis to drain vital fluids.
This hopping thief's belly is full of the blood it has stolen from other beasts. If you hold it above fire, the belly will grow and grow until it explodes in a steaming shower of fluids.
Dude, what are you doing? Great Hopper leaps around the edges of the edge of the world, trying to crush prey beneath its body.
A worthy foe, surprisingly nimble for its size. Either keep your distance or try to dance between its hops and strike at its legs.
Grub Mimic assumes the shape of a harmless creature to lure prey.
Luring an enemy close by pretending to be a weak little grub. Very cunning. Unfortunately for them, I eat these grubs as soon as I see them.
Yikes. Hiveling. Smallest of the hive's inhabitants, carries out simple tasks.
Weak, but hard-working and numerous. The hairy little bodies are filled with a thick, sweet golden liquid. Good to keep a few on you for long hunts.
Hive Soldier. Defends the hive against intruders with its extendable stinger.
Savage and dedicated warriors. Be prepared to fight them to the death if you plan on invading their home.
Hive Guardian. Protects the hive by hurling its huge body at intruders.
Like their smaller kin, their only instinct is to protect the hive at any cost to themselves. Somewhat clumsy, they'll often damage the structure of the hive when charging at intruders. Does this cause them shame? I do not know whether they have the capacity for such a thing.
Husk Hive. Cowardly husk, its body colonized by hivelings.
Did the hivelings build their nest around this sorry bug, or did the bug squeeze its body into the nest? Either way, they seem happy enough together.
Hive Knight, loyal protector of the hive's queen, flightless but ferocious in battle.
Some creatures are born with duties and loyalties marked indelibly upon their minds. They are strong, but they are also slaves.
Maybe I pronounced that poorly. I don't know. Spiny Husk. Overgrown with vegetation, it attacks by firing sharp spines from its body.
The spines they fire seem to be mildly poisonous. Don't use them to clean between your fangs after eating.
Good idea. Loodle. Inhabits the wilds beside the queen's gardens. Not aggressive in nature, but its wild bouncing behavior can be dangerous.
It seems like the energy is limitless. Do they ever stop to sleep, or eat, or love?
Mantis Petra. Lurks amongst foliage and attacks by flinging wind scythes from a distance.
They will harass you from afar, so get close and strike quickly. Their bodies are brittle and will easily fall if to your nail.
Mantis Traitor. Once a member of the Mantis tribe, now cast out and driven mad by infection.
Belonging to a tribe or not belonging. I don't really understand what the difference is or how it works. I have no tribe of my own.
And the Traitor Lord, deposed lord of the Mantis tribe, embraced the infection and turned against his sisters. The Sisters of Battle, I guess. The Mantis Lords.
I have felt that desire, the desire to take the infection into myself, to become stronger, more powerful. These thoughts haunt my dreams during the darkest times. False hope, but it can burn so brilliantly in one's mind.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. Like, in the arena of the Mantis Lords, you can see a fourth, slightly smaller, like, throne, I guess, is what they're sitting on. You can see a fourth one off to the right, and law-wise it is, I think, generally agreed upon, although not stated directly anywhere, that would be where the Traitor Lord once was. Yeah, pretty interesting. Okay, Sharp Baldur. Hardened Baldur, bred for battle in the Colosseum of Fools. Tougher and more aggressive than its wild ancestor.
These creatures, I've never seen one fully grown. I suppose they aren't allowed to live long enough to become adults.
Armored Squid. Hardened Squid, bred for battle in the Colosseum of Fools. Tougher and more aggressive than its wild ancestor.
Strong and quick. When they rear back, either move out of the way or prepare to strike back.
Battle Obel. Raised in the Colosseum, although trained for combat, its movements and attacks are still haphazard. Right, like... Obels. Okay, so... the law here is basically that the people that run the Colosseum trained the Baldur, or bred, I guess? Yeah, bred. It says bred. These, and put like armor / other shells on them for protection. Interesting.
They've crafted a tiny mask for it. Is such an extravagance practical, I wonder?
And the Oblobel, larger cousin of the Obel. Pairs with a mate for life and will never leave its side.
Having a mate by your side, one that will never leave you until death? Strange. No mate has ever come forth to stay by my side.
Well, I mean... Shielded Fool, warrior fighting for glory in the Colosseum of Fools. Rarely approaches opponents with shell held high.
That Colosseum is a strange place where some bugs fight each other to the death and others watch. I don't understand such obscure rituals. If you venture in, stay on guard at all times.
Sturdy Fool. Warrior fighting for glory in the Colosseum of Fools. Uses crescent-shaped blades to cut down foes. Oh, whoops.
You can hit this warrior spinning weapons out of the air straight back into them. Useful if they manage to corner you.
Yeah, that's actually correct. Yeah, you can do that. I never do that, but you can. Winged Fool. Warrior fighting for glory in the Colosseum of Fools. Flies just out of an opponent's reach, then darts in for the kill.
What do they hope for, these warriors fighting in the Colosseum? Are they slaves or prisoners, or do they freely choose to fight?
Heavy Fool. Warrior fighting for glory in the Colosseum of Fools aggressively charges down foes.
Large, bulky, and fighting for its life. Don't underestimate this fighter. It can slither around quickly despite its bulk. It also has a surprisingly beautiful face beneath its mask.
What? Really? Interesting. Death Loodle. Loodle equipped with a helmet and taught to kill.
They seem fierce, but they have a lot of difficulty aiming at their target. Watch their motions and strike when the opportunity comes. Take the helmet with you as a trophy.
Volt Twister. Learned bug that adapted the teachings of the Soul Sanctum into a deadly fighting art. Attacks with bursts of electricity.
Supposedly lives on a diet of lumaflies and spends its entire life fighting in the arena or meditating in seclusion. An odd foe.
The God Tamer. Veteran warrior of the Colosseum of Fools. Fights by the side of creatures she has trained.
Some hunters train beasts to join them in chasing down prey. I tried it once, but couldn't resist the urge to test my companion's strength against mine.
Well, that's maybe the reason why nobody has come forth to be at your side. Just saying. Pale Lurker, forgotten champion of the Colosseum, drawn away by strange obsessions.
This odd creature is unaffected by and unaware of the disease drifting through the caverns. Its madness is all of its own.
Zod, a self-proclaimed knight of no renown. Oh.
I am Zod, a knight of great renown.
Nope. Wields a nail he carved from shellwood named Life Ender.
Some were creatures are so weak, so helpless, so inept, and so irritating that hunting them gives no pleasure.
Grey Prince Zod. Figment of an obsessed mind. Lacks grace but becomes stronger with every defeat. My love, any creature who could bear to be away from you would willingly leave you behind or say unkind things to you. Ha! Lowly maggots, not worth of standing in your glorious shadow. She felt her cold body grow warm, a sensation she had almost forgotten. The Grey Prince, chapter 112. Winged Zodling. Figment of an obsessed mind, grudgingly assists its master in combat by lazily flying towards foes. She asked whether he had bought the charm for her as he promised he would, but then he explained the charm was actually of low quality and not worth the price she asked. Not worth the price asked. She understood the wisdom of his decision perfectly. The Grey Prince, chapter 136. Hopping Zodling. A figment of an obsessed mind, jumps about in a non-threatening manner. That lowly mapmaker's wife? Ha! My queen, how could you compare yourself to her? In the face of your... Oh no, that's probably Zod's voice? That lowly mapmaker's wife? Ha! My queen, how could you compare yourself to her? In the face of your intoxicating beauty, all other females are merely dust. The Grey Prince trembled with anger and indignation and love. The Grey Prince, chapter 178. Okay, you wrote too many chapters here, I must say. Figment of an volatile Zodling, figment of an obsessed mind, deals poorly with the pressure of existing and quickly explodes. Yikes. The Grey Prince was a wanderer by nature, but she could not bear to be separated from him, so she devised a plan to make sure that she and her prince would be together always. She only had to wait for her chance. The Grey Prince, chapter 205. 0. Lingering dream of a fallen warrior executed for crimes against the king. Alive. Oh, what's the voice? Something like... Ha! A life defined by tragedy and triumph. A death marred by sorrow and regret. A spirit burdened by sins and memories. Better to wander the world than be cursed with glory. Okay. Gorb, lingering dream of a fallen warrior, a mysterious life form that claimed to contain all of the world's knowledge inside of its distended brain. I am Gorb. Elder Who. Lingering dream of a fallen warrior traveled the world tending to those affected by the plague. Never forget what was once lost, yet do not let it tie you down. Mamu, a lingering dream of a fallen warrior, protector of the Queen's Gardens. If you believe in something as hard as you can, with your eyes shut tight, eventually it will come true. No Eyes, lingering dream of a fallen warrior, disappeared during the plague. They're coming. What's inside of you? Strip it out. Galian, lingering dream of a fallen warrior, trained in the wilds bordering the kingdom, hoping to become a knight. What? It's hard because you can only judge their voices by the combat noises they do, right? They don't actually have, they don't say anything if you read the dialogue. Well, anyways, a knight strives not only to protect the land and its people, but the hopes and dreams of the kingdom. Galian. Markath, lingering dream of a fallen warrior, only member of his forgotten tribe to take up a weapon. Oh. May your efforts lead you somewhere worthy. Grim Novice. A Grimkin Novice. Young and playful member of the Grim Troop, as part of the ritual it gathers scarlet flame within its torch. It will relinquish the flame once defeated. Shadows dream of endless fire, flames devour and embers swoop. One will light the nightmare lantern, call and serve in Grim's dread troop. Grimkin Master. Powerful and devoted member of the Grim Troop, as part of the ritual it gathers scarlet flame within its torch. It will relinquish the flame once defeated. A spark of red light, light's darkest dream, scarlet nightmares bright and wild. Visions dance and flames do speak. Burn the father, feed the child. Weird. Grimkin Nightmare. Terrifying member of the Grim Troop. As part of the ritual, it gathers scarlet flame within its torch. It will relinquish the flame once defeated. They all say the same, right? Basically, except for the first line. Dance and die and live forever. Silent voices shout and sing. Stand before the troop's dark hearts. Burn away the Nightmare King. And then we have Grim, Master of the Grim Troop. Oh wait, through a dream I travel, at lantern's call to consume the flames of a kingdom's fall. That's kind of his voice, right? Twisted spectre of scarlet flame. The expanse of... no.
The expanse of dream in the past was split. One realm now must stay apart. Darkest reaches beating red. Terror of sleep, the nightmare's heart.
That was supposed to be the seer. Okay, Nail Masters Oro and Mato. Brothers of the Nail, trained in combat by the great Nail Sage. Gods by toil and nail bound, brothers sworn to guard the weak, masters of the sacred ground, help us find the god we seek. Pray to the masters. Ah, that's from the people in the god home, I guess. Paintmaster Shio, a skilled and respected master of the nail, always eager to learn new things. O god-inspired master of arts, whose works shall eternally endure, peer beyond our minds and hearts, reveal to us the god most pure. Great Nail Sage Sly, legendary sage of the nail arts, and recently merchant of some success. Sagely god of the cunning and bold, sharpen our nails and show us the odds. O greatest of masters, we wish to behold that one still greater, the god of gods. Prayer to the sage. Alright, the dudes from the White Palace. Wing mold, a fly-layer construct formed of white shell and a dark liquid interior.
The bugs of Hallownest believe that their king created this world and everything in it. For what purpose, I wonder? Were his subjects companions or toys or children? Such a mind seems unknowable.
The royal retainer, the most loyal and devout servants of the king.
Simple, weak creatures find strength by forming a hive and obeying a ruler. Such creatures become the arms and teeth and claws of their monarch.
And then the king's mold. Guard construct of Hallownest's palace and skilled wielder of the curved claw blade. Its heavy white armor protects a fragile body.
They say the old king died long ago, but this influence echoes around us still. A creature like that, what did he desire?
Sibling, a fragment of lingering will. Far down below us, beneath the kingdom, the air grows stiller and a sense of empty... Oh, what?
Far below us, beneath the kingdom, the air grows stiller and a sense of emptiness pervades. Can life flourish down there? If so, I will hunt it.
Void tendrils. Fragments of void taking the shape of sharp, thrashing tendrils.
The bugs of Hallownest sometimes wondered whether there were other, older, stranger kingdoms deep below them. What strange fancies they had. That's probably why they were always so distracted and easy to kill.
Hornet, skilled protector of Hallownest's ruins, wields a needle and thread.
I have seen this nimble little creature. I thought her prey and pounced at her, but with a flash she stabbed me with her flying stinger and darted away. Could she be a hunter?
The Hollow Knight, fully grown vessel carrying the plague's heart within its body.
The old kings of Hallownest, he must have been desperate to save his crumbling little world. The sacrifices he imposed on others, all for nothing.
The Pure Vessel, chosen vessel raised and trained to prime form.
Deepest silence in holy shell.
Oh no. Deepest silence in holy shell, given nail and named a night, bound by chain and egg and spell. Hear our plea, reveal thy light. Pray to the vessel. And then Radiance, the light, forgotten.
The plague, the infection, the madness that haunts the corpses of Hallownest, the light that screams out from the eyes of this dead kingdom. What is the source? I suppose mere mortals like myself will never understand.
Well, I mean, it's right there. Shade, echo of a previous life, defeated to retake its power and become whole.
Each of us leaves an imprint of something when we die, a stain in the world. I don't know how much longer this kingdom can bear the weight of so many past lives.
And then the hunter's mark, the mark of a true hunter.
I've no offspring, no subjects, no worshippers. The sum of my being, my learning, my instincts. I leave it all to you. Good luck, hunter.
Right. And that's everything we got. Actually took pretty much exactly 1 hour. Let me see here. Oh. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. I think there are like 3 right, I remember. Right, there's the thing which you get for doing all the bosses on attuned difficulty. Right, and there's one more for doing all bindings. I think that's it, right? Oh no, huh? Okay. Okay, the journal actually caps at 164, and these two will not increase the count, so we actually got everything. Right. And there is one more entry which you get from defeating the Path of Pain. Yeah, that's also one we don't have. Yeah, okay. The only thing I did want to do is to get the Flug mangas or whatever they are called. And so let us do this. And then I will quickly defeat those 5, I think is what we needed. Yeah, sure. Oh, no, I have to do this. And then I'll just quickly sit at a bench here. And again, yeah, then we'll defeat the Flug mangas. Okay, I'll do that. Okay. Okay. Here we are. This should get us to the bench. Right, okay. I got the Flug mangas. Where are they? Come on. Guess I'm just holding Flugs. There we go. Aged flug grown fat on the rich refuse, found in the pipes below the capital.
When predators are too successful, the surplus food they eat becomes soft bulk wrapped around their bodies. Still, these creatures at least seem to make good use of their additional weight.
I guess so. It's a little weird. I'm not quite sure. I think that might be a bug that this was completed. Like we had all entries like filled out. It said 164 of 164 on both ones there, so might have been a bug. Yikes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. For now, I think this might be the last part. The other option is that I do some practice on the Grim, Nightmaking Grim, and the Pure Vessel, and then attempt the Pantheon of Hellenist for real, to at least show you the last boss we're missing. But yeah, I'm not I'm not sure whether that will happen. That will cost some time. I'm not sure I have. So yeah, anyways, for now, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and in fact, I guess, series. If you want me to do anything, I might do something later on. Still with this series. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. Anything else you want to see? To my knowledge, I've covered pretty much everything. We didn't go through all the dialogues of the shopkeepers, I think. Right? Lem has some more, the... Iselda has some more, Sly has some more. but Leg Eater might also have some more, but I guess I can't get that on this save file anymore. Yeah, right, that's basically that. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, subscribe to see potential future videos or future projects, and click the bell to be notified when those go up. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!